Hey everyone, this is Mike from Real Life Counseling, and today I'm going to start a few videos on how we can address some of these issues that are going on in the current situation. Now, as with so many things, uh, there are many ideas that we could have been thinking about all along, and sometimes it takes a crisis to cause us to reflect, um, and it brings an immediacy to life. What I want to talk today is about finding having some meaning and purpose in life. This current situation has deprived us of where we find a lot of meaning: work, family, friends, volunteering, charity, being involved in the world. Um, what is our purpose? Um, you know, Viktor Frankl was the founder of logotherapy. It's one of the existential therapies. It's what is our purpose here in this world? Um, and many people find that meaning is in other people, in their creativity, in their accomplishing something, in their being productive, in their spiritual or religious lives. And again, to some extent, that's been taken from us, and we feel this emptiness. We feel this apathy. We're bored. We don't feel productive. We feel empty inside. That should be a warning signal, a red light, flashing and sounding and letting us know that something's not going right with our lives. And this could be a great opportunity to explore um, that meaning in life. Now, Viktor Frankl wrote this very famous book, Man's Search for Meaning, um, and it's a bestseller and has been for years. Dr. Frankl was a Holocaust survivor, and a lot of his ideas developed through that experience. He had these ideas before that, but it really brought it to the forefront because finding meaning in a horrible, in the Holocaust, in a concentration camp, wow. Um, but he also did that. He helped people find meaning in prison, even people that were on death row. And so this is really a very powerful, powerful book, and I would encourage you to check it out. So I offer. It sounds so mercenary. I offer a 16-week training program on finding meaning and purpose in life, and I really think it is very powerful. You know, one of the things about therapy is, people can go on to therapy for 1, 2, 3 years, and that's fine. But there's also this kind of short term, almost like a psychoeducational approach, where there are certain cognitive behavioral therapies, interpersonal therapies, reality therapy, where they're time limited. Um, this is a 16-week program. There's an interpersonal therapy for depression that's 16 weeks. There's a complicated grief program that is 16 weeks. And it's not just psychoeducational. It's not just giving you information. It actually creates some real change. But the idea is knowledge is power. And, so one of these things is this logotherapy 16-week program to finding purpose and meaning in your life. And I want to read a couple of things that Dr. Frankl had said. In terms of finding meaning, and people do feel very empty and have a lack of meaning. He wrote, there is no such thing as a universal meaning of life, but only the unique meanings of the individual situation. However, we must not forget that among these situations, there are also situations which have something in common. And consequently, there are also meanings which are shared by human beings across society and across history. So rather than being related to unique situations, these meanings refer to the human condition. So yes, we all have unique ways of finding meaning, but there's also something that joins us as human beings, that there is something about the human condition. We want to feel some sense of purpose and meaning. And Dr. Frankl had talked about a study that was done at Harvard, and this was many, many decades ago. And he talked about people that graduated Harvard. And he said that in a review of them 20 years later, 20 years after they graduated, they felt that their lives were pointless and meaningless. And this they did although they had been very successful in their professional lives as lawyers, doctors, surgeons. And he says, quote, they were caught in an existential vacuum. They didn't feel like there was meaning or purpose in their life. They were doctors. They were lawyers. They went to Harvard. Um, he also, shortly after that, talked about how a prisoner on death row was able to find meaning and purpose. It's amazing that a person who their whole life was doing terrible things and they were about to be executed, and he still helped them to find some meaning and purpose to their life. It's very powerful. This can be a very powerful approach. Um, One of the things that he points out, though, is that it is not about a professional helping a person find meaning. He writes that a meaning must be found. It cannot be given, least of all by a doctor. And I would say even more than finding meaning, it's um, revealing meaning, uh, discovering it. It's not really just finding it. It's already there, and you have to figure out and reveal what that meaning or purpose is. So it's not about giving meaning. It's about helping a person discover, reveal what their purpose and meaning is. So again, we're really challenged under these times to find meaning and purpose, especially when you're sitting at home alone. You're not doing much work. The work that you're doing is not quite the same as the work you had been doing, and life can feel really empty. And this is, again, a signal. Maybe that it's not that your life before had as much meaning as you thought. Maybe the things that you were doing in life were necessary and you felt productive, but perhaps it wasn't as meaningful as you believed. And maybe this is a good time to discover and to have a meaningful and purposeful life. Now, how do you do that? Well, that's part of the training and the therapy, but I will share with you what Dr. Frankl said. He said, there are three principal ways in which a person can find meaning in life. The first is what he gives to the world in terms of his creations, his discoveries, his ideas, his caring, his compassion, his love. The second is what he takes from the world in terms of encounters and experiences, experiencing nature, experience the close connection of another human being. So when you interact with the world, do you just dismiss it? Oh, that wasn't important. Or do you really embrace it and say, a beautiful piece of art or music? And then the third is the stand he takes to his predicament in case he must face a fate he cannot change. So the attitudinal view, the stand you take if you got a diagnosis that was a death sentence, that you had a disease and there's no cure. What do you do? And it's the stand you take to that predicament, the attitude that you take toward that situation that you cannot change. Very powerful. This is very powerful, and I would recommend that you read his book, Man's Search for Meaning. Explore, research. You can go online. I'm giving you some information from this video, and if you are interested, I do offer a 16-week program on helping you find, develop, and maintain a meaningful, purposeful life. And of course now it's online, so it's not just in person, although I like interacting with people like most of us do, but circumstances have limited that. So anyway, I hope you liked this video. I hope you got something out of it. If you did, I hope you give it a like and a thumbs up, and if you want to subscribe, please do, and if you want to share this video with other people, I hope that you do, and stay safe, and I'll see you next time.